We do have kind of a philosophy of how we're looking at marketing communications today. That, like everything else, could change very quickly. But we look at it in what I call the pay, earn, and say world. The pay meaning things that you are willing to give a medium money for. You can control the message. It's traditional, feels like traditional advertising, although it also includes mobile advertising, online advertising. You control the message, you get a lot of audience with that, but it can be expensive. It's mostly used, I think today, advertising is best used to defend brands or defend positions that are already in place. Big brands that are doing, already have stakes in the marketplace. We're lucky enough to work for a couple of very large brands that paid advertising is absolutely essential for. It'll continue to have a role for a long, long time in the marketing mix. The earned world is what people would refer to traditionally as public relations. Although today the PR world has changed from just being, working with a newspaper reporter, working with bloggers. It's really working with anybody who has a masthead that has credibility or an audience that has credibility. So if you think about it, we are presenting a storyline and hoping that somebody with credibility and an audience will tell that story. And I tell people all the time, people hear from good companies, they hear about great companies. That's why the earned world matters. It's also really, really economically advantageous. We think that for probably 15 to 18 cents on the dollar, we can accomplish the same sorts of things in the earned world as we can in the paid world. Unfortunately, there are limitations to it too. I can't have the same story about a client run one day in a newspaper and then pitch the same story and have it run again the next day in a newspaper like I can with an ad. The say world is where there's a lot of excitement today. Whenever we walk into a new client, they say, tell us about social media and what you can do there. And we're investing and have done a lot and have a lot of great things that we can do in the social world. But say is really about what you control. You control your message. You control when it's delivered. And it's also very, by the way, cost efficient. What you don't control is your audience. I may have the coolest blog in the world that 3 people read. That's not as helpful as having the New York Times. There's clearly a place in the say world. It starts with the content that your branded content that you run out of your own website, and then it fans out into everything from mobile applications, tablet apps, to social media and full-scale social media platforms.